I will call the December 10th meeting of the Planning, Programming, and Zoning Commission to order. First, in approval of the December 10th agenda.
So moved.
Combining A1 and A2.
Oh, yeah. And combining, was it A1 and A2?
Yes. In a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And approval of the minutes from our November 12th meeting.
So moved, do not.
In a second?
Second, Shirk.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And now we will have John give us the financial report.
Okay. Looks like we're currently at 33% of the year, and expenses are slightly below that at 32%, and revenues 25%. So we're doing okay so far.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve the budget report.
So move, likes to go.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And now's the time for anyone in the chambers, which there is none, and anyone online, if they want to talk on any topic that is not on the agenda. Hearing none. And our first item of business is A1 and A2 combined. It is a request by Robson Homes Incorporated for their preliminary plat as well as final plat of Prairie Meadows Estates, first edition, a 49-lot residential subdivision in the R3 multiple residence district. And we'll take the staff report.
This is Schneider with staff. The applicant is requesting to plat the property in question for the purpose of creating a 49-lot residential subdivision, 4 duplexes and 1 threeplex located east of Omaha Avenue. The request would not appear to have negative impact on the surrounding neighborhood or land use, as the surrounding area is primarily twin homes and single-family homes with some fourplexes. The area is currently zoned R3 multiple residence district and has been zoned as such since it was rezoned from A1 agricultural district on October 6, 1980. Surrounding land uses and their zoning are as follows. To the north is commercial development, zoned S1 shopping center district. To the south is vacant land in Cedar Valley Lawn Care, zoned A1 agricultural district. To the east is vacant land, zoned R3 multiple residence district. And to the west is residential development, zoned R3 RP planned residence district. The development is proposing 23 duplexes and 1 triplex for a total of 49 units. The Prairie Meadow Estates First Edition will be located to the east of Prairie Meadow Estates Addition. Prairie Meadow Estates final plat was approved by City Council on October 6, 2015, and the homes have been constructed since then. The parcel is 435,600 square feet, 10 acres, including right-of-way. There will be approximately 8,889 square feet of area per unit. This exceeds the minimum requirement of 3,600 square feet for 2 family dwellings and 2,500 square feet for multifamily dwellings in the R3 multiple residence district. The duplexes meet the minimum lot width requirement of 70 feet and the minimum setback requirements. The smaller duplex will be 50 feet wide and be located 10 feet from another duplex building. And there's a 15-foot side setback shown. The larger duplex will be 76 feet wide and will be 10 feet from other duplexes. The duplexes and threeplex will stay in character with the size of the existing residential properties in the area. The front yard setback for the threeplex received a variance from the Board of Adjustment on July 23, 2024 to allow for a 25-foot front yard setback. The zoning ordinance requires in section 1025-2 off-street parking required that multifamily row dwellings with individual driveways providing parking spaces in the required front yard setback area and designed to permit the entrance or exit by backward movement of vehicles onto or off of a public street shall be permitted when the portion of said multifamily row dwelling that abuts the end of the driveway is set back at least 40 feet from the public street that driveways connect to. The subdivision ordinance requires that preliminary plat submissions include such criteria as boundaries of property, proposed streets, easements, and widths of right-of-way, contours, and utility locations. The plat includes all of these items, but is missing a label of use for ownership of each outlot. And the applicant has since told us what those are going to be. This plat was reviewed by the Planning and Zoning Commission on July 9th, 2024, and approved by City Council on September 3rd, 2024. But at that time, it only included 5 lots and was proposed to be a condo development, and the developers decided to change the development to allow 0 lot line development. At the Technical Review Committee, Knudsen noted that the engineering department is working with the applicant to revise their drainage report so it meets the regulations. The final plat contains the legal description, property lines and dimensions, date, north arrow, scale, and owner, easements, size of individual lots, street names. The applicant has submitted the certificate of survey, deed of dedication, and contracts and waivers, but they need to be reviewed by staff prior to the request being sent to City Council. Therefore, staff recommends that the request by Robson Homes and Company for the preliminary and final plat of Prairie Meadow Estates First Edition, a 49-lot residential subdivision in the R3 Multiple Residence District located east of Omaha Avenue, be approved for the following reasons. The plat would not appear to have a negative impact on the surrounding area, nor would it appear to have a negative impact on traffic conditions in the area. The plat will create an additional infill development site in the primary growth area, subject to the following condition: that a certificate of survey, deed of dedication, contracts, and waivers are updated prior to the request being sent to City Council.
Thank you. Any initial questions for staff from the commission members?
Yes, this is Duna. Have all the items requested that hadn't come in at the time of the report, have they come in yet? Like the things that are other than the deed of dedication that weren't explained in the staff report?
Yeah, they're all being reviewed at this time, yes.
And the timing for the city council meeting, that's enough time for everything to be considered?
Yeah, they will not be set up until everything's been approved to be transferred
Okay,
to this. Yep.
thank you.
Other questions for staff? Anyone online that has any questions or would like to talk about this agenda item, either for or against it? Hearing none, I would take a motion from one of the commission members.
This is Commissioner Shirk. I'll make a motion to approve the request by Robson Homes Incorporated for the preliminary plat of Prairie Meadow Estates First Edition, a 49-lot residential subdivision in the R3 Multiple Residence District located east of Omaha Avenue, and subject to the following conditions: that a certificate of survey, deed of dedication, and contracts and waivers are updated prior to the request being sent to City Council.
Second, Duna.
Can we amend your motion, preliminary and final?
Yeah, preliminary and final plat.
Second,
Thank
Duna.
you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is a request by the City of Waterloo for the final plat of Waterloo Air and Rail Park, 4th Edition, a 39-lot industrial subdivision in the M2P Plain Industrial District, pages 41 through 57 of your packet. And we will take the staff report.
This is Dornoff with staff. The applicant is requesting to approve the final plat of Waterloo Air and Rail Park, 4th Edition of 39-lot industrial subdivision. The area proposed for the plat has been zoned M2P Planned Industrial District since the adoption of zoning ordinance 4077 on March 13th, 1995. Surrounding land uses to the north and south is Waterloo Regional Airport, zoned M2P Planned Industrial District. To the east is the airport and also M2P Planned Industrial District. To the west is the existing Waterloo Air and Rail Park previous additions, and they're also zoned M2P Planned Industrial District. The industrial development started in last year in 2023. The applicant is requesting the final plat of Waterloo Air and Rail Park, 4th Edition. The plat includes 39 lots. 39 lots in a range of size from 0.96 acres to 15.08 acres, with a majority of lots being between 0.96 acres and 1.09 acres, with an average acreage of 2.13 acres. There are 6 tracks shown. Track A through E are for stormwater management, with Track A at 2.13 acres, Track B at 0.21 acres, Tract C at 1.46 acres, Tract D at 1.76 acres, and Tract E at 0.73 acres, and Tract F, which will be the extension of Wart Drive and Hyperdrive right-of-way, which is 6.04 acres. Total acreage is 99.39 acres. All buildings will need to meet the requirements of the Waterloo Regional Airport overlay zoning, which limits height of buildings in the area. The final plat includes the final items, legal description, property line, dimensions, date, easements, right-of-way, proper lot sequence, adjoining subdivisions, engineers, certificate survey, and deed of dedication. Building setback lines will be set during the planning review process. The deed of dedication is currently being reviewed. Therefore, staff recommends that the final plat for Waterloo Air and Rail Park 4th Edition be approved for the following reasons. The plat would not have a negative impact on surrounding area. The plat would not have a negative impact on traffic conditions in the area. And the plat will create infill development site in the primary growth area. And that's a staff report.
Thank you. Any initial questions from staff by commission members?
This is Dunant again. Is engineering okay with the process of the drainage plan that was described here in the packet?
Jamie Knudsen, city engineer. Yes, we are. We actually are designing it, so both the drainage and the streets as well as the plat as well, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Other questions for staff? Hearing none. The owner is obviously the city, so I would entertain a motion.
I've
got a question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So voting for or against this is redundant. I don't know if we've got a quorum or not, but is it a conflict for me to vote because I'm the chairman of the airport board?
I would abstain, you can abstain and we'll be fine.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I would recommend abstaining.
Anyway, yes. Commissioner Lystico, I will make a motion to approve the request by the city of Waterloo I will approve the final plat for the Waterloo Air and Rail Park 4th Edition with the following condition: that the plat is updated and additional documents are submitted as required by staff before the request is sent to city council.
And so we don't need a condition because everything's already done. Our engineering staff does well.
In a second,
Second, Shirk.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Do we have a quorum to be able to vote?
Yes.
Yeah.
We do.
Okay.
Yep.
Aye.
Abstentions don't affect quorum.
All right. Item B1 on our agenda is a request by Steve and Yvonne Smith for an encroachment agreement to allow for a fence in city-owned right-of-way in the R2 1 and 2 Family Residence District located east of 2324 Maynard Avenue, pages 58 through 67 of your packet.
This is Tamala with staff. The applicant is requesting an encroachment agreement to install a fence on city-owned right-of-way of Green Hill Road. The request for an encroachment agreement would not appear to have a negative impact on the surrounding neighborhood as the area is not in a floodway or floodplain. The request for an encroachment agreement would also not appear to have a negative impact on vehicular or pedestrian traffic in the area. The site is zoned R2 1 and 2 Family Residence District and has been zoned as such since 1983 due to ordinance number 3272. The surrounding land uses and their zoning are as follows: north, east, south, and west, zoned R2 1 and 2 Family Residence District with single-family homes and an open lot that abuts the site in question. The area is composed of single-family homes constructed between 1923 and through the 2000s. The site in question is the latest addition to the area by being built in 2024. The applicant is requesting an encroachment agreement to install a fence on city-owned right-of-way. The proposed sound wall fence will match the height and design of the existing sound wall fence that is within the right-of-way of Green Hill Road from the property north of the site in question to mitigate road noise. If the proposed height of the fence is exceeding 8 feet, then a variance would be required from the Board of Adjustment. Technical Review Committee noted the sound wall fence cannot be fully constructed to the south end of the lot in question. Instead, a regular fence with a removable section or a gate at minimum 10 feet wide would be permissible along the front of the house. There is a 25-foot easement on the north end of the lot for access and maintenance of the sound wall that has been removed, and this easement should now be vacated. The north end should be easily accessible via the fence along the front of the house in case the city or other utilities need to get into the area to service the existing sound wall. The new sound wall should match the style of construction as the existing sound wall. Leisure Services noted that the fence maintenance and upkeep should be solely the homeowner's responsibility, including mowing the piece of city land, which will be inside the fence upon construction. Therefore, the staff recommends that the request by Steve Smith and Yvonne Smith for an encroachment agreement to allow for fence on city-owned property in the R2 1 and 2 family residence district located east of 2324 Maynard Avenue be approved for the following reasons. The request would not appear to have a negative impact on the surrounding area. The request would not appear to have a negative impact on vehicular or pedestrian traffic in the area. The proposed structure conforms with the future land use map, subject to the following conditions: a fully signed and executed encroachment agreement, which includes provisions for the maintenance of the fence by the applicants, access provisions through the fence to provide access to the right-of-way that will be located behind the fencing, as well as access to the existing sound wall to the north, and the 8-foot utility easement along the north property line of the property in question.
Thank you. Any questions for staff from commission members?
I have one. If this picture is north up, how far down south are they planning on building this thing?
They're planning,
One of the
They
pictures
want-
showed a red line, sorry.
yeah. No,
Showed
let
the
me,
shape of it.
that is what the city would, and it's not very clear, but the red line is where the city, on page 65, where the city wants them to put the fence.
So it's not gonna come out past the house to obstruct?
They would like
vision.
it to, but we're against that. So,
The owner would like it.
yeah, if they would need a variance for that, so, we would recommend, so it would go to the Board of Adjustment if they decide to go through with it, the
Okay.
attempt.
This agenda item, though, is just for the fence that was shown on the red line there to the corner of the house.
Yeah, it's the encroachment. I mean, the encroachment agreement's gonna be that entire piece of property, but, yeah, I mean, the fence will still need to go to Board of Adjustment because it's like 12 feet tall anyway, so. But yeah,
That
I know,
fence is 12 feet tall.
I think the sound wall, isn't it 12 feet, Jamie?
Pretty high.
Not sure.
Yeah, okay.
I drove by there. I didn't think it was that high.
I know the applicants are still working with staff to put all the details together.
Thank you. Other questions for staff? Is anyone online that would like to speak on this agenda item? Either for or against? Hearing none. I would entertain a motion.
This is Commissioner Shirk. I'll make the motion to approve the request by Steve Smith and Yvonne Smith for an encroachment agreement to allow for a fence on city-owned property in the R2 1 and 2 family residence district located east of 2324 Maynard Avenue. Subject to the following conditions: a fully signed and executed encroachment agreement, which includes provisions for the maintenance of the fence by the applicants, access provisions through the fence to provide access to the right-of-way that will be located behind the fencing, as well as access to the existing sound wall to the north, and the 8-foot utility easement located along the north property line of the property in question.
Thank you. In a second. Or further discussion?
Yes, Commissioner Lystico, I do have further discussion. Is it common for sound walls to be connected to homes?
Well, the sound wall itself would not be connected to the home. It would be a regular fence in the front.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll second that then.
yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Hi.
Yep.
Do you have
Jim,
another
for-
question?
Yeah, I did, but that's okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What I don't understand by this red line, it looks like it's going to the house.
Well, that's just
the
a,
fence.
I'll let Jamie Henson.
So Jamie Knutson, city engineer, that's my drawing. Basically, I wanted to show that they couldn't bring the fence any further south than the front of the house. Okay. So the sound wall will be the north-south portion, and then again, I believe, as John said, the east-west portion tying into the house will be some different
Regular fence.
regular privacy fence, chain link fence, something else. That doesn't have to be a sound wall, but it was just more to illustrate, not to run it further south in the front of the house.
So they can put up a fence to block visual
Yes.
in their backyard or
Yes.
side yard. Okay.
And a sound wall is exactly what I think it is, right? Like,
Yes.
what's along the highway. If you going to Evansdale, and there's the brown colored sidewall.
Yep.
That's a sound
That's,
wall.
and this goes back to interstate substitution from the 80s when we came through and built Green Hill and all that. That was already an established neighborhood. So the policy is that if you've got an established neighborhood, then you would go ahead and install the sound wall. Well, this was a vacant lot at the time, and that's why there was no sound wall put in there. And you can see on the picture that it actually turned and went back to the west. So that's why my understanding is they're removing the piece to the north, and then they're extending this one to the south to make sure that the properties to the north of them still continue to have sound protection from the traffic on Green Hill.
Thank you. Yep. I'll do a revote quickly. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. I believe I had all ayes. Thank you. Last item on our agenda is election of chairperson and vice chairperson for the period ending December 31st, 2025. I believe we can nominate people to be chairperson or vice chairperson. I would nominate Cody to be chairperson.
He can't be right now.
Oh, he can't be yet?
We discussed
I
this
feel like
last
we
time
talked
because
about
I
this
thought-
about 4 months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, we.
that
Well-
was the plan, because Brandon was gonna basically fill in until Cody was off the other, right? Board.
I would move to postpone this until the beginning of the next meeting, so we can
Can
make.
you remind me who our current vice chair is?
Me,
Yep.
because of Janelle.
I'm
Or was it Janelle? Yeah. No, Patricia.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry.
She was on, yeah, she was on me.
I'm not going to be here the January meeting either. I don't know how that affects our vote and nominations. So,
Well, Phil will just fill in until
Okay.
we can.
Yep.
Because I was going to talk to Cody after the meeting anyway. So.
okay.
No, nothing bad.
I'm kidding.
I would say then we table the election of chairperson and vice chairperson until our January 14th meeting.
I will motion to table that election until January, as that way we have the formal record of
Thank
it.
you.
Second, Shirk.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, we have 2 new planners that started with us. Joseph just started, so they can come up and each introduce themselves, just real briefly.
From Hollywood staff, new planner 1 originally from Michigan, but graduated from UC Irvine out in California.
Nice.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Joseph Geilman with staff. New planner 1 just graduated recently from the University of Utah. So
Nice.
Welcome. Thank you, guys.
And just mention, I don't know if all you know, but recently the city council did approve a moratorium on any new hobby farms. That's for 6 months. So Mr. Bozen pushed that through, and so he started a committee to just, update the current ordinance. So
Thank you for that.
So no new agenda items involving hobby farms
Yeah,
for
I was
6
just gonna
months.
ask.
exactly.
Will there be any references on how close a proposed hobby farm is to a chicken restaurant? Just saying, I don't
Truly
want
farm to
people's
table.
hobby farm stuff disappearing.
Other items for discussion? If not, I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.